stand and join Councilman Williams with our pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for our prayer.
God, you are creator. Guide and watch over us. You use everything that happens for your purposes and glory. Help us to hear your voice and walk in your wisdom. Help us to honor you in what we think, say, and do, and to forgive as we have been forgiven. Please keep us from our own selfishness. Help us to build a city that honors you and reflects your love for us. And thank you for being with us in every difficult circumstance and joyful breath. You are God and worthy of glory, honor, and praise. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Okay. We call to order this regular City Council meeting on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. First item, well, other than call to order, number 2 is public comments, community announcements, and recognitions. And we do have one today. We're going to administer the oath of office to the new municipal judge, William W. Wheeler, Jr., by myself. So if you'll please join me at the front, sir. All right.
Do it? Never have.
Never have, all right. We're going to do it a couple times. All right.
It's real narrow, but.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, William Wesley Wheeler Jr.,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not knowingly
that I will not knowingly
receive,
receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
my duties as municipal judge
my duties as municipal judge
of the City of Guthrie
of the City of Guthrie
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And you didn't flip it.
Well, hold up one.
Yeah, but no wait.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Your Honor, yeah.
With that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna do something I've never done in a meeting, or maybe one time. Oh, gosh. So just leave before it's over.
Let's see, scoop this way a smidge. Very good. Yes, well done. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. All right, item number 3 is the consent agenda, items A through E.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? If there are none, please cast your votes. Consent agenda.
That's mine.
But that donation for Wilson's Water Sports was pretty awesome, and I really like the card that came with it.
Nice.
Thank you, Justin.
All votes are in.
All right, unanimous approval from all those present on the consent agenda, items A through E. Item number 4 is items removed from the consent agenda. There were none. Agenda item number 5, Community Marketing Partnership Program Grant Acceptance. Madam Rooney?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. Our application was one of the many to be accepted to receive matching funds through the Oklahoma Community Marketing Partnership Program from the Oklahoma Department of Commerce. So it'll help us offset the cost of the marketing software that we originally presented to you during council orientation.
Okay.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
For applying for that, that's
Yeah.
great help.
Any questions for Ms. Rooney? Mrs. Rooney?
I don't have
I
any.
move approval of the acceptance of the $6,000 grant from the Oklahoma Department of Commerce to the Oklahoma Community Marketing Partnership Program.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. No further comments or questions. Please cast your votes.
All votes are in.
All right, unanimous approval to accept the $6,000 grant. Thank you, Shonda. Item number 6, construction manager agreement, Crossland Construction Company. Mr. Faulkner?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this agreement is the standard AIA A133 2019 agreement with addendum that outlines construction management authorized by Title 61 Oklahoma statutes. This agreement is similar to what you've seen on both the fire station and the municipal pool project. It has been reviewed, drafted, and approved by outside counsel, and staff recommends approval. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments for Eddie? Okay, please cast your votes.
All votes are in.
All right, unanimous approval for the construction manager agreement. Item number 7, interlocal cooperation agreement, City of Guthrie and Meridian Technology Center. Chief? Oh, back there. I didn't see you back there.
I'll take this
You
one.
want to take
Mayor.
it? Okay.
Yes, so Chief Swagger took the first item, I'll take the second one. This item comes as, it is a subsequent item to the one you heard a while back, the partnership between City of Guthrie and Meridian Technology Center to build a joint, multi-use, multi-jurisdictional police and fire training facility on the South Campus here in Guthrie. So as you'll recall, Chief Swagger wrote a grant and received 50-50 matching grant for this facility, up to almost $1 million. We've thrown in $500,000 in extra funds as they become available over a 3-year time frame, starting in fiscal year '24. With that, Meridian Technology Center had a need to build an additional facility on the South Campus. They were able to move that up in their capital improvement projects, capital projects plan when we approached them and said, hey, we've got an awesome idea for a partnership. There's classroom space that we already utilize at Meridian Tech for training just like this as it is. So we'd like to enhance that partnership. Meridian Technology Center, they're just a fantastic partner for the community, and they were happy to partner, wanted to see this come to fruition. So the details of the agreement, the city and Meridian will both contribute up to $1.5 million towards the construction cost of the project. Any overages will be paid by Meridian Technology Center. Meridian will manage design, engineering, construction, and the city will review and approve of the plans. City will have access to the facility for police, fire, and emergency management training. We will coordinate that through Meridian South Campus Director. Each party will have our own liability insurance. However, the property will be insured by Meridian Technology Center, and we intend for this to be a perpetual agreement. However, as you know, that is something that will have an annual renewal. So we look forward to this. This is a great opportunity. We're thankful for our friends over at Meridian, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Did you say annual renewal?
Yes, there will be an annual renewal. Yep. And that's required for all contracts and municipalities and state agencies in Oklahoma.
Your Honor, I move approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement between the City of Guthrie and Meridian Technology for the joint participation in the construction and operation of a multi-purpose training facility located at 3025 South Division Street, Guthrie, Oklahoma, in accordance with the Interlocal Cooperation Act, Title 74 of the Oklahoma Statutes, Section 108 at sequence.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. No further comments or questions. Please cast your votes.
Is there an anticipation for groundbreaking?
We are probably 3 weeks into design.
Okay.
So as soon as, I would say mid to late spring, early summer.
Okay,
As soon as we have that date, I'll make sure that council's aware of that.
great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Councilwoman Gibbs.
We haven't voted.
Sorry, my fault.
All votes are in.
All right, unanimous approval for the interlocal cooperation agreement. Item number 8, ordinance number 3428, the rezoning of 6706 South Academy Road from R1 to A1. It's going to be the Dan Kasich show for the next 30 minutes.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor, City Council. This rezone is close to the properties that were last month. This one is actually off of Academy, just south of the Lakewood Road Academy intersection. It's a 5-acre parcel that they're looking to go from R1 to A1. Similar reasons as to the last we had last month. They're looking to have more agricultural uses, especially with livestock in that. So the Planning Commission had recommended approval 3-0 of the rezone from R1 to A1.
Is that the one that's got the metal barn, or is it the nice house?
I think I think they have the accessory structure, but then they're having a house, but it's they're building on it. There's two.
There's two of them out there.
Right.
The one's to the south and the one that's to the north.
Yeah, no, this is the one to the south.
South,
Yeah.
okay. It's the nice house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Honor, move approval of ordinance 3428, rezoning of 6706 South Academy Road from residential 1, single-family dwelling to agricultural 1, general agricultural district, in accordance with the application 25-009.
Second?
No motion and a second. If there's no more questions for Mr. Kasich, please cast your votes.
All votes are in.
Okay. Unanimous approval of ordinance number 3428, the rezoning of 6706 South Academy Road from R1 to A1. Okay, item number 9, ordinance number 3429, amendments to Chapter 5, Article 9 of the City Code regarding food trucks and mobile food vendors. Mr. Kasich.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but the state recently put in a new law, the Food Truck Freedom Act, I think is what it was called. It went into effect November 1st. Also previous to that, last year, the state put forth that food trucks would have to meet the 2018 fire code requirements. That also went into effect November 1st of this year. So in order to make sure that our ordinances are clear but also meet state law, we have the ordinance in front of you. Not a lot of changes, but one of the big changes is state law no longer allows any municipality to put geographical restrictions on food trucks. So for instance, ours had it to where you couldn't be within 300 feet of another restaurant, you couldn't be within 300 feet of another event that was happening, and things like that. State law no longer allows that to happen. Also, state law put provisions to make sure that the licensing at the local level does not get out of hand, basically not to have exorbitant fees to it. Basically, you're supposed to have a fee that's just what you need to verify their information. And then finally, and the fee that it also worked out that the fee we had in there was actually $250 for out of town and $75 for in town. It kind of inadvertently got put in with the solicitors part when we redid that. So it'll help do this. And so then this will also take it out of the solicitor's part and kind of be a part of its own. And then finally, some of the requirements or standards as far as signage and amplified noise and things like that that they can't do are in the zoning code. So it has references that they still have to pertain to or meet the zoning code requirements. In consultation with our city attorney, there's been some revisions from the ordinance that was put in your packet. So I'm going to go over those. So if you do have a motion to approve the ordinance, we'll have it with the revisions. One revision was that it is in B, section B. Instead of calling it a license, it will be a permit. And then also in section B, we eliminated copy of health department permit, copy of
Oklahoma state sales tax permit and the state fire marshals, because the state will be issuing food truck licenses and they'll be taking care of all that themselves. So it's kind of like our contractors when they come in. They just show us their license, give us an ID for identity and our application, and we go. And so food trucks will work the same. So the one thing we did add then is 3 will become state of Oklahoma food truck license. And then on D, we added under the not operate on any public property, we inserted or city-sponsored event, so it's similar with the liability insurance. That was another thing that changed, is we cannot require somebody that's going to be on property to have the city as a additional insured, only if they're going to be on our property or an event we sponsor. And then finally, the fee. The ordinance says $75. We're going to drop that to $25. So again, there's no issue with overcharging or have any complaints with overcharging. So with that, I'll give it back to the council if you have any questions.
I've got a question. How's this going to affect 89ers when they set up right up here?
They're not going to be allowed to say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to set on private property across from that event, they can do so.
Dan, provide some context on that, because Jeff's aware of the ordinance and the 300-foot limitation. So if you'll provide some context as to what that question meant, please.
Yeah, because one of the things that way back when, I forgot what year it was, it's been a while, since when they did the food truck ordinance, there was concerns when there was events like 89ers in that some of the vendors would not be part of 89ers. They'll just set, outside, literally just right outside from them, and be able to have the same benefits without being part of the 89ers. And so there were some of those geographical limitations put in our ordinance. And like I said, now state law says you can't do that for any type of event. So that type of limitation will no longer exist.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any other questions or comments for Dan on the food trucks?
So Dan, you did say that the fee was going to be lowered from $75 to $25?
Correct.
It still says $75 in the...
Yeah, there's a revised one. That's one of the things that's being revised, is from 75 to 25.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
Second.
With the revisions that
The revisions
okay,
added
thank
to
you.
it, from
As
75
presented.
to 20.
Yeah, or as presented, thank you.
Any questions for Dan down here? Deanna, Tracy, anything? No?
That's a lot.
This had something that also in this to do with how long a food truck can sit in a certain location.
Yes, because some cities, not us, but some cities had limitations that they could only be there for an hour or maybe 2 hours. So now that, again, is another restriction that can't be put on them. Again, we didn't have that, so we didn't have to amend it, but you're right, other cities had similar.
And all of that was addressed in the state law.
Yeah, exactly.
So whether it was another city or even in an unincorporated area, there were some regulations through the Department of Health. If you had a food truck at a permanent location, you would have to move that food truck if you weren't actively serving food.
Yeah.
And so we've got a couple places here in town where that was applicable. So that limitation is no longer there as well.
A second?
You have a motion and a second? All right. No further questions or comments? Please cast your votes.
All votes are in.
Okay. Unanimous approval for ordinance number 3429, the amendments to Chapter 5, Article 9 of the City Code regarding food trucks and mobile food vendors. Item number 10, special use permit, metal accessory building within main corridor overlay district. Mr. Kasich.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Yeah, this is a special use permit. As stated, there's a request to have a metal building in our building overlay area that obviously does not allow metal. In our zoning code, there's a provision in there. It's kind of a catch-all because not everything is going to be perfectly aligned in that. So some areas kind of get blanketed with restrictions like this, but in kind of the reality is it's not going to have a major impact. So there's kind of a catch-all in our code that now says if in that area there's similar type development and and it was in your staff report, there's some provisions in there. They can get a special use permit. In this case, it's a larger property. It's outside the Guthrie Proper Overlay District, and it backs up to Highland Park, and so he's looking to have a all-metal garage, detached garage in the very back of the property. There's a church there that already has a couple metal buildings, and so it's an area that doesn't already have a concentration of, if you want to say, non-metal. So with the approval of the special use permit, it would allow for it to be built within that area. The Planning Commission had recommended 3.0 to allow for the building to be built.
Anybody call to complain or send a letter or anything like that?
No, it was interesting. The only call I got was from one of the neighbors thinking that he was going to be able to put a storage building to rent out, and he wanted to do the same thing. And so I told him that he couldn't do that, and it was for personal use, but that was the only call. And at the public hearing, there wasn't any objection.
Is this metal building going to be visible from the park?
No, it's like, no, because of all the tree line that's back there, that's one of the other things. There's that large tree line that runs at the back of the property or the very south part of Highland, so it's not going to be visible. During the winter time when the leaves are gone, you might be able to see it some, but generally it's not.
And the color of the building is going to be as it was depicted in the drawing?
Yeah, or similar to match the house, yeah. Yeah, because it won't be a bright, shiny one. It'll be a color that's similar to the house, so it fits in.
Okay. Any more questions or comments for Dan on the special use permit?
It's also not level with the park itself. It sits
Correct.
up on a
No,
pretty
it sits
tall
up.
ridge.
Yeah, correct.
I move approval of the special use permit per Planning Commission application 25-010.
A motion, is there a second?
I'll second. Go ahead.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. No further comments or questions, please cast your votes.
Although it's trying.
Unanimous approval for the special use permit, metal accessory building within Main Corridor Overlay District. Okay. Item number 11, another special use permit, a manufactured home at the northeast corner of Coltrane Road and Lake Road. Mr. Casey.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. As indicated, this is a special use permit. They want to put a modular home or a manufactured home on the property, which requires a special use permit. The property is a very narrow and goes kind of northeasterly. It's right at the corner of Coltrane and Lake Road. It's a total of a 3-acre parcel, but there's a power line easement that runs literally through the middle. The site plan that was submitted with the council communication showed there's a 60-foot parcel or easement in the middle, and then there's 20 feet on each side that is non-easement. They're looking to build it on the 20-foot portion that is on the east part of the property, which would not be within the easement. I verified from OG&E through Spencer Brown and Mark Harrison, they didn't have any issue as long as it wasn't within the 60-foot portion of the easement. The applicants are here, so if you do have any questions of them and that, they would be available to answer any questions. But I'll get back to council if you have any other questions of myself.
I got a couple of questions.
Yes.
Is property that
Oh, for
for the applicants?
Okay.
You're only going to have 2 feet on one side and 3 feet on the other side? How's that going to work? Is it going to be a small house?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, you can come up to here.
And this looks like it is the easement.
Yeah. My name is Devin Derrick. It's my fiancee.
Diana Teal.
Hi.
So to answer your question, it will be up to that easement line where the steps will come off to that. And we are under the understanding that we can have that as a driveway underneath the power lines.
But you've talked to OG&E and checked
Yes.
them, because I asked them to talk to you guys.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, they
but
call
how,
and talk to me.
what I'm asking, is it going to be a small house? Is that what you're putting in there?
Yes.
So you're only going to have 2 feet on one side and 3 feet on the other side? How's that going to
Well,
work?
it's 15 feet wide.
Right,
So
the
there-
little house is, and then
Yeah.
you've got,
So
after
we've got
that.
25 feet total. So we'll have 5 feet on one side and 5 feet on the other. All we need is just the steps. And then the rest of it will be parking. Yeah.
Any other questions?
You're gonna live in this? Are you gonna rent it for bed and?
No, we're gonna be, it'll be our permanent residence, yes, yeah. I don't
You
know
don't,
if
you
you
don't
guys
own
see
the
pictures
property
of
that
it.
I'm looking at that's to the north or
Sure.
west, the wooded area, you don't own that. You just
No,
own
no.
this sliver.
Just the sliver there. It's 3 acres and it's real narrow, yeah.
So now, is that the property, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it on the west side? Do you have that, where the old, used to be an old house used
railroad.
to sit there? I know it's the old urban, but there's an
Right.
there's an old fireplace that's still, well, it's not even there. It's just kind of a crumble down on the ground.
No.
Did you all buy that?
No,
So
there's,
Mark didn't sell that to you?
there's 3 acres just to the west of us that actually butt up to Coldstream Road.
Okay.
And so this property is at a pie shape. So right as you go across the dam, then the property right there is where it starts. Yeah. And it's all wooded around there, so you won't even be able to see it much, which is kind of what we like.
So I guess
the
it's
woods. So, yeah.
I just want that little strip.
So as you're crossing over
Why would you do that?
the dam road,
Yes.
looking to the west,
Right.
northwest is where you'll be.
Yes.
I haven't been out there in quite a while. That's a tree line there that
Yes.
will, that will screen for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. And that's what we like, because it's trees on both sides of the property. And the only part that's being cleared is underneath the power lines. And so that we can set it right on this side of it. So we got 25 feet.
You familiar with the studies of living next to power lines? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So,
Did you have a picture that you seen?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all
we
right. I was gonna say, I have pictures to show you, so.
so did Dan tell you that we had one complaint, and I've had at least
Yes.
3 or 4 people call me and complain as well?
Yeah.
Because we just live right down the road from there, and that's,
Sure.
like I said, they're calling and complaining they don't want it there either.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I would ask Dan, out of all these that were contacted, were any of those that they replied?
Only the one property owner that was included in the council communication or the packet of the one property owner that had an objection, but that was it.
Well, Dan, you said that the planning commission unanimously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-0.
3-0 or 5-0?
3-0. There were only 3 members, yeah.
Well, it looks like there's tree line on either side of it, so, I mean, they're gonna place it within the easement. There's trees on either side, so. And it looks like the single wide is a nice looking one. It looks like it's log cabin, so.
Yeah, and the main
Like it
reason,
doesn't fit there, like it wouldn't be a little lake place.
yeah, because the main reason it has to go through the special use permit is because it's
Yes,
considered.
because it is a
manufactured. Yeah,
modular home.
so if they wanted to build a stick-built home there, they could, because it's zoned R1.
Right.
In that, and they wouldn't even have to come forth.
Any further questions, Jeff?
Are you guys gonna run the driveway? I'm gonna assume, I mean, you're going to need a driveway, so I'm going to assume you're gonna run it from Coltrane.
Coltrane, yes. And there's already a gate there.
Is there? Okay.
So we'll just use that existing gate opening right there and just to make that our driveway.
Okay.
And we understand that we can use the driveway, or we can use underneath the power lines for anything except for living underneath it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any more comments, questions, concerns, anybody? Okay, we entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve this. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Feels a little strange. Sure, everybody's got their questions and comments out. Okay, all right, well, we have a motion and a second to pass as is, so please, if there's no further comments or questions, please cast your votes. Oh, okay. The motion passes 4-2 to have a special use permit for the manufactured home at the northeast corner of Coltrane Road and Lake Road. Thank you guys for coming. Okay, item number 12, city manager's report.
Yes, Mayor and Council, it's, as I say every meeting, it's busy season. There's a lot going on. So you've received lots of emails from me about all the events going on this week alone. I want to give you a quick recap of those, just to keep those top of mind. You should have received something from me on the State of the County Luncheon, which will take place on Thursday at 11:30 at Meridian Tech. I didn't hear back. I've got the mayor confirmed.
registered.
Okay. So if you'd like to attend, Councilwoman Gibbs is on it. She reserved herself. So if you'd like to attend, let us know. Myself or Jessica will get you in RSVP'd for that event. Tomorrow evening, the Pocket Park will host a ribbon cutting at 5 p.m. So we'll have representatives from Crossland Construction, Department of Commerce, shops vendors, mayor and council as well, out to celebrate that Pocket Park. And as a reminder, that was a 50-50 matching grant through the Department of Commerce, Main Street. So we've got lots of folks who will come out for that and look forward to that event. Not only will it be the ribbon cutting for the Pocket Park, but we also have 4 new vendors at the shops who will be celebrating their grand opening. So I believe Shonda's going to be hosting some bingo. So if you want to play some free bingo out at the shops in the Pocket Park tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, that's where we'll be. The ADA intersection upgrade at Harrison and First is currently under construction. The crews are moving along really nicely. They've had some good weather, aside from the rain we had last Friday. Excuse me. Aside from the rain, they've moved along really, really well. Once they complete the intersection at Harrison and First, they will pull off of the job. They'll like one intersection at Oklahoma and First. And I've said you cannot touch that until after Christmas. So they're going to pull off the job. They'll come back in January and get that wrapped up for us. Last thing we would want is Oklahoma and First to be under construction during the walks and the Christmas parade and all of that good stuff. So appreciate the project there. The crews are, again, really making good work, good headway. The taxiway project out at the airport, again, another project that is moving right along. We've had fair weather that has been on our side. I hope we can continue that all the way through. But that taxiway's coming along really well. Contact does plan to close the runway. They were anticipating doing that in December. We've asked them to push it out to January. So we do have a hard date, January 15th. The runway at the airport will close. And it will be closed for approximately 6 weeks, assuming that we have great weather. So as long as there are no weather delays, should get the rest of that parallel taxiway complete and get the runway back open. Until that taxiway is complete, the runway will be closed for the final leg of the taxiway. West Side Booster Pump Station, crews have got that set in place, and we're looking to start having some testing and getting transitioned over from the existing booster pump. We hope to have a ribbon cutting for that in January. So again, it's another CIP number 2 project that tied in with the water towers and replacing that booster pump station that sits just underneath the West Side water tower. So we look forward to that ribbon cutting, and as soon as we get that date scheduled and everything's up and operational, I will make sure that you have a copy of that invitation. City offices, non-emergency, will be closed for Veterans Day on November 11th. As usual, the American Legion will have the Veterans Day parade that will start down on Oklahoma, come down, finish up on Honor Park, where the ceremony will take place every year. That parade will start at 10:30, and the ceremony usually follows the parade. Thanksgiving luncheon for city employees, council, and their family members will take place on Friday, November 21st out at the Public Works Complex, and will begin at 11 o'clock. And then also a bit of exciting news. If you'll remember, back in 2023, the City Council authorized the remount order of a new ambulance for Guthrie Fire and EMS. We're proud to say that that ambulance is finally here. So it arrived 2 years later. The lead time on those units is getting longer, unfortunately. So we're excited to have that unit here. We took delivery of it yesterday, I believe. And if we've got some time this evening, I think Chief Lawson is going to have the ambulance out front for the council and community to see this evening, so you can take a look at it. And really a neat piece of equipment. Our crews we serve over 500 square miles in our EMS district. So those ambulances are really, looking for the right word, the wear and tear on those ambulances is tremendous.
It's the county roads, that's what makes them really good.
The wear and tear on those units is tremendous. So, I think we've purchased 2 of those Type 2 ambulances, and they've put a tremendous amount of miles on those, one of which we took delivery of earlier this year. So be happy to show everybody that unit out front when we're done. And with that, Mayor, that's all I've got for you.
Thank you, Eddie. Okay, item number 13, request comments from members of City Council. Councilman Williams.
I have no comment, thank you.
Councilwoman Denning.
I don't believe I have anything. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Taylor.
Staff, appreciate what you guys do. It was nice to go out and see all the animal stuff that you have set up out there. I appreciate what you do on that. And last night we had quite a little shindig upstairs. One of the candidates running for Lieutenant Governor came up to Guthrie, and then he went over to listen to another Lieutenant Governor now. And it was a fabulous evening. I appreciate being allowed to come over and be involved in that. And by the way, glad to have you on board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
That's it.
Our city attorney, Mr. Lewis, welcome.
Thank you.
This was your first meeting. How was it?
It was good.
Good? Okay. You want to say anything?
I'm just happy to be here. Look forward to it.
All right, good.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks. All right, Councilman Aguirre.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman Gibbs.
Nope. Productive meeting. We had a tour before this meeting of the animal shelter. The animal shelter has a lot of adoptable pets, and I would encourage all of our public to get out there and see just how many dogs we have available out there. Some actually really beautiful breeds of dogs that are looking for wonderful homes, and some really great cats too. So I encourage all of our community to go out there and see, one, how nice our shelter actually is for the facility that we have and its age and its upkeep. And I commend our animal control officers for the work that they do there, and our volunteers. So thank you very much.
And there is a position open for
Yes.
an animal
Thanks,
control
Deanna.
officer. So,
Yes.
everybody watching, if you know someone that might be interested in that position, get on the city website and apply.
Right. Okay. Good.
Good,
All right.
that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, if you haven't picked it up yet, we just had a tour of the animal shelter here in Guthrie, and the entire council was invited, so we went and saw that. Yeah, Councilwoman Gibbs is correct. I mean, I saw a husky in there, so really, really cute animals, cats and dogs to adopt, so please check it out. Like the city manager said, yeah, we have a pocket park ribbon cutting. I'll be doing that, as well as the state of the county at Meridian. This Friday, I will be giving a speech during an actual Masonic session inside the temple. It's kind of special. I get to go in like one time a year like that and give a talk, so it's kind of cool. The Guthrie Haunts is still going on all this week. It's so popular, it goes past Halloween. And on Saturday, they do something special called a blackout, where it's the same haunted house run that you do, but they turn out all the lights and it's pitch black. So it kind of adds to the anxiety and intensity. So from a regular spook house. So that is still going on. Also, it's interesting to note that at the haunts, they actually have a carnival going on outside while you wait. So it's a really kind of a fun time. I went out the other day and saw some performers. It was pretty interesting. So with that, that is all that I have. So we will adjourn. And then we will call to order our City of Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting, Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. I said that twice. Let's see, item number 2 is a consent agenda, items A.
Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, I move approval of consent agenda, item A.
Second.
Okay. There's only one item, just approve the Public Works Authority minutes. If there are any questions or comments, please cast your votes.
All votes are in.
Okay, unanimous approval for consent agenda, item A. Item number 3 are items from the consent agenda that were removed. There were none. Item number 4, take or pay water purchase agreement with Langston University. Mr. Faulkner.
Yes, Mayor and Council. If you'll recall, the original agreement with Langston University and between Langston University and the Guthrie Public Works Authority was executed in 2004. In 2004, the Guthrie Public Works Authority, the City of Guthrie, we're synonymous in this term, constructed and financed a waterline project to deliver treated water to the Langston campus. Since that time, GPWA has supplied water to the university under a contractual take-or-pay arrangement that guaranteed a minimum monthly purchase amount. The prior 20-year agreement expired on June 30th, 2025, was extended, the terms of that agreement were extended via an MOU until the terms could be reached of a new agreement. This new 5-year agreement continues the longstanding water supply partnership between the city and the Langston University, ensuring a reliable source of potable water for the campus. Previously, we had a 20-year agreement, and that coincided with the financing of the project to supply water to the university. So what you have before you is a much shorter term, it's a 5-year term, and it is renewed annually. So similar to what we discussed, the partnership with Meridian, this partnership would require an annual renewal as well. The rate for the water, which increases annually with the CPI adjustment, or is adjusted annually on the CPI. This rate is proposed $6.35 per 1,000 gallons. Anything over their minimum 6 million gallons a month is billed at 6.69 per 1,000 gallons. So their take-or-pay minimum is $38,100 per month, which is equivalent to the minimum of 6 million gallons. We did have a maintenance provision that was included. So given that the water line and the standpipe were constructed to serve the university, any future maintenance that may be required, at least through the term of this agreement, the university has agreed to fund up to 30% of the infrastructure. So we just wrapped up the water towers and the booster pump station, finishing up the booster pump station. Want to be ahead of the curve on that standpipe, and that was top of mind for us as we went in there to talk about this contract, make sure that we were exploring all possible funding mechanisms on the front end for the infrastructure when that time comes. We're not there yet. We may not be there in 5 years, but at least we've got this provision included in the agreement. So with that, that is what I've got for you on this item. I did send this out to the council for your review a couple weeks back. Received a couple of questions, which I've addressed tonight in my staff report. Be happy to answer any other questions. Staff recommends approval.
Eddie, on the exclusivity boundaries, it's Highway 33, correct?
Yes. So old Highway 33, anything, any of their facilities that are south of that currently served by the Langston Public Works Authority. So what's existing there, not to say that there couldn't be some construction in the future.
That's what I was going to, yeah.
I was anticipating.
Yeah, anticipating that, that's right.
There could be future construction that would be served by Langston, the Public Works Authority over there at the town of Langston. At this time, we don't see any issue with that. I think that as those things come up, we'll just have to address those on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. So that's as the road, the old Highway 33 curves around. Everything on the northwest and north side is all what we serve. So we don't serve like the president's house and all that over on the south side. That's all lake. Okay.
Yep. Everything on south of the old Highway 33.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I had.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the take-or-pay water purchase agreement contract between the Guthrie Public Works Authority and the Board of Regents for the Oklahoma Agriculture and Mechanical Colleges on behalf of Langston University, establishing terms for the sale and purchase of potable water through June 30th, 30 with the renewal provisions that set forth in the agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. No further comments or questions? Please cast your votes.
I'll vote Stern.
Okay, unanimous approval for the take-or-pay water purchase agreement for Langston University. Item number 5.